Welcome to yet another great edition of Younger Life Live. Good morning. Happy Friday.
That's right.
Everybody in the house. Come on. Everybody say, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow. This is going to be fun. Can you feel it?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
This is the perfect way to end the week. I love it.
you said it as you
fun.
walked in. We all made it. Nanda pulled up. I was cute because as Nanda was pulling up, I watched her in the cameras from my office.
Yeah.
Mary Anthony made it with a few minutes to spare. And who was the early guy in?
Definitely
Jamie.
never me. That's never me.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. It is such a great day, such an honor to have some great folks, community pillars. And it's going to be a fun Friday here on Younger Life Live.
It is. You know, the Who's Your Star, we talked about it. I went to it. And so it's kind of fun to wrap it up and talk about the outcome and just, what a great fundraiser it was and kind of see how that aspect went too. So
Nanda, your compadre who was sitting alongside of you when we focused on you guys a week or so ago, right before Who's Your Star, which was stellar. Jeremiah, he's on the Star VIP hotline this hour, brought to you by the LaPorte Hospital. So let's all throw our headsets on.
All right.
Real quick, we're going to pull up the live line here. Jeremiah, are you at work, by the way?
I am at work, yes.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Everybody, good morning, Jeremiah. Everybody, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Jeremiah.
Good morning, everybody.
My gosh, it is so much fun. And you look great through our video telephone, just so you know. So what are you doing? Are you like on a break here? Did you kind of skate off to the side to do this? Are you working? What's going on?
Oh, no, I had to run outside real quick. I told my coworker, I said, hey, I'm taking a 5 to 10 minute break. I'll be right back.
Aw,
And
that's fantastic.
Nanda looks at me and says, yeah, that 5 to 10 minutes is going to be the hour.
Jeremiah, I love you, but I got to say, I am so happy to not see your face right now.
Whoa, and why?
Well, because it means that we're,
over the last year.
exactly. My gosh. Are you enjoying your break?
So much. So much, yes, it is. But I still have Who's Your Star thoughts running through my head.
Right.
I just can't seem to turn it off just yet.
Yeah, it's so soon. I made that comment though to Nanda. I bet you guys are just so ready to. The next day, I bet it felt weird. I'm sure.
It was as if your brain wasn't working anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to shut down
For
and
a couple
and
days.
Yeah.
And it just
I'm like,
couldn't
what am I
shut
doing?
down.
Yeah. Oh, well, I can't imagine everything that goes into planning an event like that. It's so much work, but it was such a beautiful show. It was fabulous. And so the hard work definitely paid off from both of you. It's really, really good.
All right. So from the technical side, the musicianship, the sponsors, the folks that were there packing the LaPorte Civic. So tell me, I'm curious, Jeremiah, what one thing sticks out in your head? I know that's a loaded question, but because there's a lot of great, I'm sure areas. What would you say?
The one thing that stuck out in my head was the talent that we had this year. I mean, there was not one bad performance. Each of them were so stellar and outstanding, and the work that each contestant put in to their performance was amazing. But I would have to say the talent that each performer displayed was just absolutely incredible.
Nando, how about you? I'm just kind of you're deep in thought here, and you're looking. By the way, you could watch this on YouTube.com, folks. Just so you know.
So I loved working with the finalists too, but that was definitely more Jeremiah's side of things. So for me, on the technical side, I enjoyed working with the sponsors.
Really?
Just accommodating the sponsors and very important part of the show.
The judges were fabulous. Can I ask how were the judges chosen?
So go ahead, Jeremiah. Go ahead.
Well, we wanted to, since this year was, we were going in a different direction, with a few things, we wanted to get all brand new judges. So what we did is I reached out to Cheryl Edwards, and she gave me some ideas for a few different judges, which is how we found Tara Alonzo. And then Tim King was he worked with Who's Your Star last year, so he was familiar with the show.
He was the interim executive director last year.
So he was more than ready to jump on and be a judge. And then Nanda was able to bring on Bill Jones.
You gotta love Billy Jones.
I love him.
Yeah.
Another
As far
guy
as
that's been in studio
being a
too.
good judge for the rock side of things, I mean, Billy's got it. You know,
Oh,
beautiful
yeah.
range. He's amazing.
That's what I think was so interesting is they were such a diverse group of judges as far as
Yeah.
you know what their preferences were. Just when they were talking about themselves, I thought that was really neat. So I like that.
Yeah,
And they were
each
funny.
definitely
They were
brought some-
very good.
Yeah, they each brought something unique to the table, which,
Yeah.
it was really nice.
Absolutely great. Well, James Neary is here in studio, and we just absolutely love him to pieces. And okay, we're going to go over to you, and we're just going to talk to you for a moment. What was going through your head? You've been on stage many, many times through the years. It gets bigger and better for you. What was going through your head to jam with Maestro Philip? Because he is like literally one of my faves, and that orchestra and illumination, everybody is just fabulous.
It was so cool. I remember it's been a while since I've been nervous before a performance, and I was nervous before the Tuesday first practice with the orchestra.
Right.
It was just like I've never been in front of that much like raw performance power, and suddenly there's a bunch of people in a room with a bunch of instruments, and it's like, yeah, sing for us, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it was a little unnerving at first, I'll be totally honest, but then Friday comes along and things get a little bit more comfortable, and then Saturday comes along and you're nervous as crap because it's the actual performance.
Right.
It was like once I stepped onto the stage to like do the performance, like all of it just melted. I think I got it. So, just showed up, had a great time. The orchestra was phenomenal. Loved
Always.
every part of it. The whole experience was amazing.
Part of the tune, and obviously people have the program, so they know pretty much that you're there and you're going to do it.
Yeah.
When you're looking into the audience and you're performing, do you watch the expressions, or you're taken away into another whole stratosphere?
A little bit of both. I will say from the stage, I have bad eyes anyway, so I could see like the silhouettes of people in the audience, but I could see like nobody's like facial expressions or like any defining features. So that was good. So don't have to worry about them like furrowing their brows or whatever. So like,
Yeah,
so
right.
Well, so I was just looking out there, and then falling into the groove of it is probably the best way to put it. It's just like after a certain point, you like fall in with the orchestra, and they're kind of supporting and lifting you up, and you get to kind of recline and relax on that. Like you can sort of feed off of each other's energy, and then everything sort of snaps together, and you're just up there having a good time after a while.
Nanda, you know how cool it is. You and I have, I've been honored to be a part of it as a master of ceremonies, as a judge, as a sponsor, all the above, you as well as a performer. But literally when I hear Maestro Philip and these musicians get together, Jeremiah, you as well, the hair stands up. You just freak out because it's so flipping good. You
It's
perform.
magical,
Yeah.
right?
What goes through your mind?
Even still today, and like after I performed, getting a standing ovation, which James did as well.
Yeah.
There is nothing like a standing ovation at the Civic Auditorium with the LaPorte County Symphony Orchestra.
I'm with ya.
And it's hard not to feel just magnetic and so meek in front of that symphony, but yet you're commanding it as the soloist, so it's just this, the energy is unreal. And I had to turn around and tell Phil that night, thank you so much. There's just nothing like, and his interpretation of the different styles is not typical of a classical symphonic conductor, so it's amazing. There's no way to explain that energy.
We're going to throw it to Jeremiah in a second here, but I want to throw us to Mary, because you had said you were just mesmerized when you came back, and we chatted about it on Younger Life Live. As we came in off the weekend, you had said, "Oh my gosh, Ricky, these guys were incredible." What was your thought on both Jeremiah and Nanda?
They handled it. The whole thing flowed so perfect. I mean, it was perfect. It was funny. I mean, it went so well. They did such a great job. I was shocked it was their first year of not being involved with it, but of hosting it and taking it over, because it went so good and it was awesome. And when you talk about not having great vision, I too don't have great vision, but I was captivated a few times by watching the orchestra, the people playing their instruments, because they too you could tell how passionate they are about it. And so whatever they're playing, they're so into it. And it was so cool to watch that too, because they're obviously in the background, but they were fabulous, and it's like they're feeling the energy too. It was so neat.
All right, Jeremiah, your turn, kiddo. What what was going through your mind performing and just in general, because it's got to make you feel good being up on stage, being a part of it. You were involved, as you have been for years, on the technical side, the performing side. What was going through your mind?
Well, just in general, I was extremely nervous to start off. I was joking with some people. I said I have my little cheat cards up there, and the first line on my cheat card said, "Say hello to the crowd."
Yes.
Which I should have put on mine because I was stunned. I was just standing there like looking at Jeremiah like, please help me.
You know what, though, as an audience member, you couldn't detect that. You guys did a very good job. It was perfect. It was very, very good. So
but as it went on, the nerves, they go away, and you just have so much fun interacting with the judges, with the audience, and the contestants, and it became so much fun. After the youth division, had finished competing, I was talking to Nanda. I said, "You are going to love this. You're going to love it."
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and then being able to sing again, with the orchestra, it was just it's the best feeling in the world. And, the song that I sang is one of my absolute all-time favorite songs. So to be able to perform, that song with such a powerful, orchestra behind you, there's nothing like it in the world. It's absolutely incredible.
I have to ask you both, with you two, performing, you guys did awesome. I mean, you really did. And, was it easier to perform knowing that you weren't being voted on?
Ooh, good question.
Is that a little easier? Were you able to enjoy it more? And
it's always much easier to perform. Like James will get to come back next year and sing without the competition piece. I don't know if I've told him any of that yet.
That's awesome.
Guess what?
He's hearing it now.
But I will say this year, doing the emceeing and also all the operations and everything else, I would have preferred not to have had the performance in the back of my head. Yeah.
Well, you did. You rocked it. I kept thinking, you must just feel good knowing you don't have to, you're not being judged. It's just because you enjoy it. I mean, because you did awesome and you appeared to be having a blast up there. And Jeremiah, yours was absolutely gorgeous, very moving. So I kept thinking the same thing, thinking you guys it must be a relief to know you're not being judged and just kind of throw yourself into it even more, maybe,
Yeah, it was, I look a little bit different, feelings. It was a relief knowing that you weren't being judged, but there's still always that pressure there of wanting to put on a good performance,
Certainly.
anytime you perform, But it was just fun. It was a lot of fun.
All right. So speaking of fun, the man, and Nanda, I want you to chat a little bit about this since you and Jeremiah obviously were hosting. So James won.
Oh,
so,
James won.
And it's funny because I made this comment on the air and I didn't even realize it as we were setting up the Younger Life live show brought to you by the LaPorte Hospital. It was great because James came on the air live with Mary, myself, and Nanda and Jeremiah here in studio. And all of a sudden I'm like, James Neri, but I said even that day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know everybody on the list. The finalists are great, but he is just a special, special talent.
He is.
What is your thoughts on that? And I know you're going to be jamming for us. Are you ready to jam?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Well, okay, my thoughts on why James is so amazing, besides his range and his performance and his emotive abilities, is look at his face right now. He is so humble.
Yeah. Thank you, Sanders.
He just has this character that's just unheard of today.
Y'all about to make me as red as my guitar now.
And your hair. Listen, Sanders is our executive producer. He's a TV nut in the Chicagoland area, stuff all around the country. And we obviously are blessed to have him. And he's got this beautiful split shot, if you guys are watching on YouTube, of Nanda and, of course, James, which I absolutely love. So Mary and Anthony and I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And, I wanted to ask you, I know we're getting ready to jam out. I wanted to know all the contestants. Did you have anybody that day that was just so nervous that you had to kind of walk them,
Oh, that's a great question. Put her on the spot.
No, I'm not. I'm saying,
I get it.
because a lot of them are amateurs,
young, yes.
and young, especially the youth. Did you have to kind of, get them up there?
We didn't have anyone that needed extreme coaching as far as their anxiety.
Yeah.
And there were some that were actually worried and warned of their anxiety, but they did great. Afterwards, I think their emotions kind of got away with some of them because it's hard to be up there.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
No, they all just really just went for it. And it was pleasing. It was nice.
That's good.
You know, I know we can see James right here in studio, Nanda, of course, myself and Mary. Jeremiah, it's kind of interesting. I'm right next to Nanda, not only on camera, but I'm right next to her, and she's got this great glow to her. She always looks great, but I could tell it's like a relief glow. Do you have that same glow going on your side where you're just like, okay, chill, on to the next year?
Oh, did he have to go?
Did we lose him?
Yeah, we might have had it. Did you go? Are you still there? Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, you're still here. Okay,
Yes,
good.
okay, good.
So Jeremiah, you still got the glow going on? Are you more a little more relaxed as we move into probably the next year, 2017, with Who's Your Star? That now you could just focus on the next year.
Oh, I am definitely more relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that glow is still there. You know, you feel proud of your, of being able to put on a great evening, looking forward to 2017, I was talking with Nanda, a few days ago. I said, I've got so many different ideas going through my head, as it is, So, looking forward, I think, there's great things, for Who's Your Star. So I'm definitely excited about it.
That brings up another question. Does planning for the next year start immediately? I mean, is there a little break and then we say, okay, we have a month off and then we have to start planning? I assume it's just such a large...
Within the next couple of weeks, we have to secure our platinum sponsors again for
Really?
the year. And then you have to start looking toward the auditions, by the end of this year, January.
Wow.
So really it's a year,
Wow.
a year-long
Yeah.
process.
I mean, it's just such an undertaking, I imagine, that it would, you wouldn't have much downtime.
Next year, we're going to get Mary Anthony and her husband to sing a duet.
Oh, get real.
with York Star.
Never.
Mary. All right.
I'm the best cheerleader there.
Yeah,
I would not
I'm all
get up
about
and do
this.
that. So I don't think so. That's for sure.
Jeremiah, can you hang out for another minute? We're going to have James do a track for us here on Younger Life. Can you hang?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. James, of course, we just are so honored to have you here. Nanda has got some surprises we've lined up between now and the back end of Younger Life Live with other folks that have, been a part of Who's Your Star, Mary Anthony, Rick Federici. Today's production brought to you by the LaPorte Hospital. So what are you going to sing for us to start us off, James Neri?
Well, I guess I'll start things off with Cutting Teeth, just by by request.
Awesome. On Younger Life Live, James Neary, of course, Nanda Danachek, Rick Federici, Mary Anthony, Jeremiah, of course, on the line. Go for it, James.
All right. So you drag my bones to a place like this, where the teeth hit the teeth and nails dig into my fist. I bit my tongue for far too long. I bit it so hard that the whole thing's almost gone. So you say to the piper to let it all loose. Oh, but the fact of the matter is that I held it in for you. So tell the nightmare wandering around that he'd better watch it where he sleeps. And after the sun goes down, we're all just cutting teeth. So you drag my mind to a place of hate, where the fist meets the skin and savagery awaits. You can pull my punches all you want, but you can never silence the flame of a heart that's been wronged. So I told the mystics their practice was a noose. Oh, but the fact of the matter is you can never kill the truth. No, we told the nightmare wandering around that he'd better watch it where he sleeps. And after the sun goes down, we're all just cutting teeth. Oh, we're all just cutting teeth. So I brought him to the place where the winds had cut into, and I tied him by the waist to a place he already knew. As the masses spoke their pains, I felt a smile as it grew. And as the place went up in flames, we heard a scream that shot right through. So we got the nightmare out down, and the bad that he slaves. And now we're wandering around, oh, cutting teeth. And so we got the nightmare out down, and the bad daddy sleeps. And after the sun goes down, we're all just cutting teeth.
Woo! What do you think of that, Jeremiah? Huh?
Oh my, he's just phenomenal.
Yes.
So worth
Fabulous.
display the talent.
It's one of those things you talk about, Maestro Philip, and you talk about some of these musicians you have. Obviously, you're on the live line, Star VIP Hotline, brought to you by the LaPorte County Symphony Orchestra and, of course, the LaPorte Hospital, our main sponsor of Younger Life Live. And it sounds killer. In here, it's just like,
Imagine,
and Nanda's like smiling, and Mary and I are like, oh, it's just so great. James, where did that one come from? Where did you dig that one from?
As kind of, I like to write songs that sort of compartmentalize, like, I guess for lack of a better term, emotional distress. Like,
So is that an original, James?
yeah, that was a song I wrote.
Nice.
It's on I have an album out. It's the 5th song on the album called 2013. Hey, there
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh. Holy
Promotion.
Yeah, look, can you see it?
Look at that! Look at that little camera. Now, was that something that you and Jeremy?
My husband and I actually we watched James at a hospital event that we were at, and early in the year or a year ago, you were there, and my husband was like, "Gosh, he's awesome!" And we actually heard you at Blackbird Crossing.
Oh wow!
It's been that,
Very cool.
isn't that cool? Well, it's funny, we went, it's like an antique kind of like I say flea market for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And they do it, it's seasonal and it's awesome. And my sister and I like to go do different things like that, but it was in Michigan. So my sister said, let's go. So my husband said, I'll go. He was off the day. So we went for the day, and in one of the barns, we kept hearing this awesome music. So we went back to that barn, and James was up in the loft. It was awesome, and it was such a cool environment to be in. And so he was up in this loft just rocking out. It was so good. And my husband, we love that kind of music anyways, and my husband was like, he is awesome. And so then when we knew you were going to be at the hospital thing, he said, I'm totally going to buy a CD if he has one.
Look at that, James.
So it's right
Mary.
here.
Woo!
Yep.
Thank you, Sanders. If folks want to, connect with your music, how would they go about buying it, James?
It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. It's on most like major online retailers. But there's nothing like taking a CD home. So
Yeah.
come and find me at a show. You can find the shows that I'm playing at facebook.com/JamesNearyMusic. That's where I post all the upcoming dates. Next date coming up, I believe, is the 26th here at the Nest in Michigan City.
Very, very cool.
That's a really cool
Rock
place.
on.
Do you know, Sanders, if you don't mind to go to mine for a second, there's a little a card back here.
Oh, look at you.
Hey.
Look, James, this is like perfectly. It's all about James Neary right now on that. So
This
it's
is really
great. The phone number's on
Thank
there,
you.
the email. And
So,
thanks
yeah.
to Sanders, our executive producer. We have another Star VIP, Who's Your Star Hotline call coming in right now.
Yes.
So, Jeremiah, you're sticking with us for a little bit, correct?
Yep, I could be here for about 5 more minutes.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm going to connect with this next caller. And Jeremiah, I hope you can hear this caller. Thank you for Sanders for connecting this one in there. Caller, you're on the air with Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Nanda, James, Jeremiah, and who is this?
Maddie Reese Ames.
Awesome.
Maddie, you did such a good job singing Tomorrow from Annie, and you stole the audience's hearts and took first place. How do you feel today?
I feel so incredible, amazing.
You did a wonderful job. I have to know, what do all your friends think at school?
My friends, they're like, there's my little winner, there's my winner.
That's very cute. That's,
And your principal's letting you call in right now, right, from his office?
Yeah, yeah.
aw.
She goes to Westville Elementary School, so supportive, very supportive school.
Rock
Oh,
on. We're proud of you.
fantastic.
Now, Jeremiah, when you were here in studio with Nanda leading up to Who's Your Star, both of you were talking about not only the coaching side of life with these young ones and giving them a little input, and now seeing the performances. What would you have to say back to our winner here on the line? What most made you proud of them?
Maddie, you were absolutely incredible. The way that you commanded the stage was just phenomenal, and you, it seemed like you had no nerves at all. But
Thank you.
she took a few tips that we gave her, and ran with them, and she won the audience's heart. She was a little superstar that night.
She looked fabulous. She was so cute. She looked so cute. But you didn't look nervous at all, Maddie. That was the one thing I kept thinking. I can't get over. You're the
and
youngest.
She's the youngest one, and she started out the whole show.
Yeah, she was the
Being
first.
that first singer of the night,
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty.
It's a lot of pressure. I
Yeah.
just couldn't get over it. You didn't seem nervous at all. It was fantastic. What did your parents think? I bet they were just bawling. It's an emotional
my
thing,
mom
which is
was a wreck,
yeah.
crying the whole night.
Well, it's so exciting, and it's hard to not be overcome with emotion when you're proud and you're nervous for your child and all of those things. But you did so good. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
What takes you now? Obviously, I know that the Hoosier Star performers do a variation of things throughout the year, are involved in different productions. Where is it going to take you, and what do you have coming up in your personal life and then in your career right now? What's going on with you locally?
Right now,
Yes.
in November, I actually have an audition for America's Got Talent in Chicago.
Very
That's
good.
exciting. It's one of my kids' favorite shows.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
What are you going to be doing for school now? Are you involved with some of the music things that may happen at school? Are you involved with, the choir, or you do things like that? I'm just curious.
No, I'm actually in a play right now.
And what play are you in?
I'm in the play Macbeth.
Very, very cool.
And she plays a lot of different roles in that. Shakespeare, that's not easy. So
Sure. Well, thank you both for joining us here on Younger Life Live. We appreciate it. We hope you guys have a great day, Jeremiah, and of course, our young talent. So that's great. So we'd like to thank them.
Congratulations, Maddie.
Congratulations, Maddie, for
everybody.
sure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I will tell you, that has got to make you feel good, because you obviously,
does.
in your career, you coach, you help, and you're young.
Yeah.
So you see the generation behind you. What does that make you feel like?
It's amazing because I think that they have all of the power in the world to make change, especially with how things are today. And so many of the kids that have the opportunity to work with music or voice lessons, come from a bit of privilege somewhere anyway, because they have parents that care and want to support them, right? And so I think by encouraging the young artists, they can spread how that feels to have that support to others that maybe don't. So I think it's great. I love it.
Wonderful. James, you as a performer, how long have you been performing? Like, when did you, James Neary, figure out that, hey, this is what I want to do, and when did you start jamming?
Well, my mom always tells me that I was singing before I was talking. We used to listen to cassettes in the truck on the way to the store, and it was like Garth Brooks and stuff, and I was just like humming along. But I don't know. I started taking it seriously. Like going through middle school, you had to pick some kind of discipline, and I settled with violin. I don't want to say settled like it was my last choice. I was really excited to be a violinist, and from then on I was like, okay, music is a part of my life, like forever now. And then I was 16, decided to pick up a guitar because everyone picks up a guitar at 16 for some reason or another. And so I picked up a guitar. I bumped into a friend in high school who was a songwriter, and he was writing super prolific songs despite how young he was. And he got me started on that route. And I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago, I started taking, my own songwriting and acoustic performance a little bit more seriously. And now I'm, doing it as a living, and I love what I do.
Did you teach yourself to play the guitar?
Mostly. There was one book. It was like easy chords. It was like, this is G, this is C.
The
Like,
Mel Bay book.
But it
Yeah,
just
there you go.
it
Yeah.
always surprises me that somebody can teach themselves that. I'm always surprised by that.
We have brought this up before, and that's exactly when I was a little young rocker. That's exactly what we did. You'd pick it up and you'd learn the G's, the C's, the D's, and then what I started doing jamming at a young age, whether it was guitar or bass, is I started playing along with full, and this really will date the old Rick Federici here on Younger Life Live, album sides. So it was like Sammy
you go.
Hagar, Van Halen.
Yeah.
But all genres of music. I loved music, loved theater, loved the arts. But that's what helped me. And then intertwining and jamming with different musicians. Nanda, you've got a great background as well. Obviously, your instrument is your voice.
Yeah.
Did you dabble into anything else?
You know what? I always had terrible stage fright. So I didn't start singing until after my daughter, her father had passed away when she was very young. And that kind of forced me
Really?
into... Right, yeah. So I did a lot of theater. But like I said, I had such terrible stage fright that, I just couldn't quite hack it when I was little. And I did play the viola for some time in the orchestra. But other than that, my music and, moving forward with that part of me really wasn't until later on in life. So
You were an adult. And that shocks me too. I think, how does someone have this gift that you have and either one, don't realize that you have it to the extent that you do, or two, are just, too, nervous to bring that out. I think that's amazing.
That's our little motto here at Younger Life Live. It doesn't matter what age you are. Obviously, you guys are all young in this
Right.
room, except for me. And
Please.
but the cool thing is that a lot of people doing a lot of different things. So whether you're the youngest of years, like we just heard from one of our winners, to the wisest of years, do different things. All right. You guys want James to jam another tune?
Absolutely.
I so want this. So set it up, my friend. What would you like to play for our Younger Life Live TV and radio crew here on WIMS?
Well, do you guys want to hear something y'all know or something I wrote?
Something you wrote.
Something I
If
wrote.
you don't mind, if you guys are
Oh,
cool with
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I love that,
His music, yeah.
Alrighty, let's see here. We'll do a newer tune. This one's called Astronaut.
All right, little Younger Life Live. Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Nanda Danachek, of course, James Neary here in studio. You're streaming live around the world on WIMSradio.com, AM 1420, and YouTube.com on the visual. James.
You told me once before you'd sweep me off my feet. You told me once before you would take me home. I laced my shoes, I burned all of the candles out. But now my eyes are burning bright, but will you settle for mine? Lay your eyes down here and let their gravity sweep the news and lie through silver tongues and apathy, because the white wash wins. You clenched your teeth as I opened mine. And now our stars burning out, draped in everything we'd built. It took a day, a week, a lifetime to decorate this salty floor. But now they gaze through mirrors, but will they settle for light? So lay your eyes down here and let their gravity sweep the news we're washed away. We levitate. 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 Lay your eyes down here and let their gravity sweep the news and lie through silver tongues and apathy, because the white wash wins. So lay your eyes down here and let their gravity sweep the news and lie through silver tongues and apathy, because the white wash wins.
Beautiful.
James Neary here on Younger Life Live. Nanda Danachek, Rick Federici, Mary Anthony. That was from the soul, my
I
friends.
love that.
That's why I love hearing originals from James Neary. Where did that one originate from? I'm just
I have
wow.
my tears, you
That
know?
is beautiful. And Nanda's over here just jamming it, and our producer Sanders is in the other room thumbs up in it. We got people calling in, chiming in here on Younger Life. Go for it. Where did that come from?
I don't know. That one started out as kind of an experiment in a different style of songwriting, like not writing from my own perspective, but from somebody else. It's somebody else's story. I don't want to really like spoil it for them.
Sure.
But I don't know. I like to mess with narrative a little bit, and the idea from that one sort of came from, you know, an astronaut somewhere far above the Earth who's watching everything, you know, happening down on Earth and just feeling, you know, like I can't help. I'm sorry, just like really distant from it
Sure.
all. And I don't know. I can echo with that sentiment for sure. Just, you know, you see so much suffering in the world. You see your friends going through hard times. You see people you know and love, and you just, you know, how do I help? I'm so far away. I don't know what to do. So I don't know. It resonates on that level a little bit, but you could interpret it a bunch of different ways. That's what I love about music.
That's what I love about music too, is you can really, anything you can mold to your own life in some way. Is it harder for you to write a song to tell someone else's story, or is it more difficult for you to write something that's much more personal?
I think there's inherent difficulty in each, because when you're telling someone else's story, you want to be honest. You want to be, you know, truthful to the story. You don't want to, you know, over embellish it or make it seem more, you know, harsh or scathing or, you know, beautiful than perhaps it might have been. But, you know, at the same time, when you're writing something from your own experiences, you don't want to, you know, be boastful or you don't want to paint things in too negative a light, because then, you know, it starts to seem like, oh, that whole thing you just wrote about is a really bad thing, when, you know, that's not entirely true. But like, I don't know, it just comes down to being honest to the story in either perspective, and just staying true to the message.
Nana, do you write?
No, I don't write.
I'm just curious if you
I
write.
don't. And what I do write, I don't share.
Okay, I was gonna say. So you do write, you just don't talk about writing.
The book.
I guessed
Yes,
with the
you know,
hesitation. so.
Someday I hope to have a book. So we'll
That's
see.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So James, if I may, I know that I thought I saw on Facebook that you're going to be taking part in a singer-songwriter competition.
Yes, I'm.
Can you tell
Oh.
us about that? And then is there any way that we and the listeners can support you? Is there votes?
I
or-
appreciate that. So Guitar Center has a singer-songwriter contest. This is the 6th iteration of it. And, long story short, there are 5 finalists. They fly out to LA, and then the winner gets a whole bunch of stuff. Like there's, $25,000 in cash. There's like $25,000 worth of gear.
Nice.
And you get
Goodness.
to
That's a present.
and you get to perform on Jimmy Kimmel. Like there's
Oh,
there's a whole bunch of cool stuff on the line. But basically, there's a page where I upload some videos of original tunes that I've done, and the more views, the more likes, the more shares, all that sort of stuff. The more people visit that page, the more points you get. And then at the end of every week, they take the 10 acts with the most points, they put them in a finalist pool, and then the judges review the pool and select 5.
Wow. That's
So
cool.
So basically,
Yeah, like
go
we gotta get Laporte there, right?
go to facebook.com/James Neary Music. I'll be posting that link. It's the most recent post I've had, but I'll be posting it pretty frequently just to I don't want to say to pad the numbers, but to encourage people to continue
Sure.
visiting, because you can
Absolutely.
visit more than once. You could watch the videos as many times, share as many times, comment as many times. Just
So this is started now. We can get on. And
yep,
start.
you could do it right now if you want to.
Okay.
It's all there for your viewing pleasure. And I've got there's a video of an original song of mine called Myelin, and another one called Red Line Ride, which are 2 fairly hot off the press originals.
Nice.
This is absolutely
how long
great.
is this? When do you find out? Like, when is the contest?
Sometime in November
Really?
is when
Oh,
it
good.
is when it caps.
Okay.
So
So people do it now, do it often, and keep doing it
Exactly,
until we
yes.
hear one way or the other. Okay.
Yeah, let's get James to L.A.
that would
That
be
would be
Yeah.
You know what?
super
And
cool.
speaking of winning a contest, I'd like to talk about the Muse thing.
Yes.
You know, we touched on it when we did the show about
Yeah.
with the finalists.
This is
about
really
who's your star.
killer.
But I had not heard of this, so tell us
Yeah.
what went on. I
So-
love Muse, so I think that's
Yeah,
really
me
cool.
too.
They've been my favorite band since high school, and I remember 101 WKQX out of Chicago had announced the contest, and the day it happened, I was freaking out, because it's hey, you can sing with Muse, and I was, I got a hold of my buddy who had audio equipment and video equipment, my buddy Mike Green, who was also one of the finalists this year. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
got a hold of
He
him.
was awesome
He
too.
was.
So I got a hold of him right away and was like, hey, we need to do this tonight, because it's one of those contests where you have to be, on it early, get as many votes as
Yeah.
possible, because then the top 5 with the most votes got forwarded to the band, and then the band picked the winner.
Wow.
So early on, I had a good lead, and then people right there at the end started getting way too many votes.
Yeah.
So I came in 4th in votes, so I was kind of worried, and then I got the phone call, and they just hey, congrats, we're gonna hook you up with the, here's all the tax forms, here's your itinerary for the flight to DC. It was just
Wow.
wow, it's real, and all of that, no nerves, just cool as a cucumber, oh cool, it happened, I'm really excited about it. And then backstage
Yeah.
at the Verizon Center in DC, leading up to the stage, it was just all of a sudden all that nerve just bam,
Caught up
a
to you.
month worth of nerves just hit me all at once.
Wow.
And then
That video's online that everybody can
It's-
watch too.
Yes,
It's
it is.
That,
so
that's
fun.
I'm gonna have to do that.
It is that cool.
it was nuts. Just meeting them was beyond enough, yet alone fronting the band for a minute. It
Did
was
you
so
meet
cool.
them before the show, or did you?
Yes,
come out?
it was all before the show.
Okay.
The performance was before the show. It was during their sound check,
Okay.
but they were just regular guys, which is
Yeah.
the best part, because you get worried with once you reach the level of fame and performance that Muse has, you're worried they get kind of,
Compitude.
Different.
Yeah,
Like,
you know?
just
I
different.
was, I was
right.
so worried they were going to be pompous and kind of aggressive, but
Oh,
they
and that
were
would have
just
ruined
regu-
it for you,
they were
since
just
you've loved
regular,
them for a
goofy
long time.
guys.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it was everything I could have hoped for. It
What
was
an
awesome.
amazing experience.
This is
truthfully.
incredible. James Neary in studio. Younger Life Live brought to you today by the LaPorte Hospital. Nanda Danicek back and better than ever. Let's throw our headsets on. Let's see who's going to join us on the Star VIP hotline. Sanders, our executive producer. Thank you, my friend. Send that call through. Good morning. You're on with Nanda, Mary, Rick, and James. Who is this?
This is Diane Perigo. How are you guys this morning?
What's going on, wonderful?
Oh, nothing. I was listening. I called in before, and I was listening to James, and I just kept thinking, wow, I'm so glad to have met him because he's so amazing.
You did a
Likewise,
fantastic
thank
job,
you.
too.
Oh, and she was
Thank you.
one sexy mama in that
She
dress.
did.
Oh
She
my
did
gosh.
fabulous.
She was awesome. So, Diane, I'm dying to know. You got very emotional, and I know that you singing with the symphony was a dream of yours. But I'm curious, is there more of a story behind the song you chose or the performance?
Well, the song I chose, and I was very passionate about it. There was a dark time in my life a couple years ago that every word of that song really applied to my life and where it was and where it's going, and so it's just that song was a real blessing to me. It probably wasn't the best song for me to sing, but I felt every word of it with all of my heart. So
Well, and the audience
I
felt
think
every
the
word
audience-
of it with you.
I was in the audience, and I think so too. I think you could really feel that. And I think that is a difficult thing to do when you know that it has that kind of connection to you, because that has to be like raw in a sense. You know, you're putting yourself out there so much besides just singing. It's very personal, and I think that everybody gathered that. It was beautiful. You did a great job.
thank you. Yeah, there was a couple of times I had to really rein it back in, and then when I started to cry at the end, it was just because I made it through.
Yeah. I would
without
imagine
coming
most
apart.
contestants, how do they not cry? That's my question. How do you not cry when you're done? Just because of the release of all of that nerves,
Sure,
the nerves,
emotion,
the
everything.
tension,
Oh, yeah.
the fear, all of that. I can't. And then the relief of it just being over. I would imagine. I think that's a normal reaction. I think so.
So did you have a little fan club out there? Did you have family, friends, and folks kind of rooting you on?
I sure did. Yeah, I had people as far as Danville, Illinois, come to see me.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they just thought it was. I mean, they just thought it was a great thing. So I wish I would have had more people there, but I had the people that love me, and I had some surprise visitors from my hometown, so that was
That's
was
nice.
pretty awesome because it's a little over an hour drive up there. So it was just a wonderful night, and I really was truly blessed by it.
So what do you think about the future, Diane? You sing with Illumination with the symphony quite a bit. Do you think that doing Who's Your Star maybe got your foot in a little further as far as being a soloist again?
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I loved it. It felt good being upstage. I mean, I love, I'll never, as long as I'm around, I'll never give up singing with my friends. I mean, I just, that's an amazing experience in and of itself when you're up on stage and you're singing with people that you love, with that are just all these wonderfully, amazingly talented musicians. And but I hope I get an opportunity to do it again. So
Well,
that would be really awesome.
know that we'd love to have you back, and everybody in the room is proud of you, and I know folks listening or streaming us or viewing this are proud of you as well. And way to go, everybody! round of
Thank you.
applause.
Diane.
Thanks for being on Younger Life Live. Congratulations again, continued success, and we will chat with you again soon. Okay?
All right, thanks, Rick.
Sure. All right. So, James, we've got a few minutes left here. Just a great show. See, it just flies
so much
by.
fun.
I definitely want to round out today's segment with a tune of your choice, a James Nary pick, right here on Younger Life Live. So, why don't you introduce whatever song you'd like to play, whether it's original or not, and we would love to absolutely hear you jam that one.
All right. I like to take covers and sort of bend them a little bit and turn them into something that maybe they weren't before. So I'm gonna do I believe Leonard Cohen wrote it, but it's been done by a bunch of people since. So we'll see if we could do the song justice. I heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throat as she cut your hair. From your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, baby, I've been here before. Seen this room and I walked this floor. I used to walk alone before I knew ya. Seen your flag on the marble arch, but love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, there was a time when you let me know what's really going on below. But now you never show that to me, do ya? Remember when I moved in you, the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who has seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Oh
all-time
my
song.
gosh,
Literally,
I
when you
can't
said
believe
that, I
you
thought,
just
oh,
did
God,
it.
no.
She's
I
gonna
love
start
it. I
crying.
was trying to tape it, and my phone said limit reach.
That's all right. We got it right there on
I've got
YouTube,
this. I
and you
have
got
this. That's
Nanda.
it.
Live on Facebook.
Yay!
Oh, it's fabulous. Beautiful.
That's what it's all about. Thank you for joining us here. AM 1420 WIMS Michigan City, a Girard Media Company, streaming live at WIMSradio.com. Made that legal ID down to the second because we are into CBS News already here, and this is absolutely fabulous. Thank you to everybody. Our wonderful James Neri. Big round of applause for James.
Thank you so much.
Deanna Check.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Our finalist. Maddie, of course, was great. And
Diane Perigo called in.
thank you so much.
So
Mary
good,
Anthony. Oh, I love you.
There we go.
And thank you to Sanders, our executive
Thank you,
producer.
absolutely.
On behalf of us all at Younger Life Live, we'd like to say, hey, have a blessed weekend. James, another big round of applause for James Neri.
Thank you so much.
Please keep us updated. If folks want to connect with you, can you throw out your Facebook again,
Yes,
please?
that'd be facebook.com/James Neary Music.
And Nanda, obviously, continue to keep us posted on what's going on with you and everything that's Who's Your Star in the Orchestra. We love you. Continued success
you.
and all that you do. Mary Anthony, you have a great weekend with the fam
Thank
as well.
you. You too.
I know I will too. And thanks to Sanders. Let's jump into CBS News, already in progress. Younger Life Live back on Monday at 9 a.m. Central. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.
Small businesses face is that getting the capital they need can be a difficult task. That's where Cabbage comes in. Cabbage provides simple, flexible access to a line of credit up to